Hello everyone and welcome to part 5 of Tackle Talk. This one is all about getting your kit to the peg. So we already talked about all the kit and organising it. So how do you get that enormous amount of kit to your peg that match anglers now carry? So the trolley I use is one of the first four-wheel trolleys on the market. It's one of the Preston ones. On the plus side, it's really strong, durable trolley. People have very few problems with these. On the downside, I think probably because it is one of the first on the market, it is one of the smaller ones, which might be all right for sort of 90% of anglers out there, but if you tend to be very serious about your match fishing and fish at the higher level, you tend to carry more kit, you'll probably find it is verging on too small. So to get around that, I've done a little bit of DIY. At the front of the trolley, it comes with like an upright bar. I've actually took that off, laid that down at the front and bolted it down to produce like an extension at the front. With the help of a little bit of wood here, I've given myself a little bit of extra length to use, and also an extra piece of wood here that is designed to try and hold my seat box in place. So a little bit about that later. So first off, I'm lucky in that I go fishing in a van, so I don't need to take my trolley completely apart. This is how I carry it. It'll fit straight into the side door of my van, fully made up. If you've got like an estate size vehicle, like I used to have an Astra van, I still managed to keep it in fully made up, but just by putting it in sort of sideways through the back door, having all my kit at the front, and then using like this flat area to lay my rod bags over the top. So if possible, it is definitely easier if you can leave your trolley made up in your vehicle. First thing that goes on every time I go fishing is my seat box. It's now where you can see where this extra piece of wood comes in use, because there's like a gap created here at the back between the foot plate, and I've got a little piece of protruding wood that goes up in that gap, so it holds the box in place so it won't slide off sideways, which means I no longer need bungee straps for that. And as you can see, it holds the box in place very well. So next area of loading, if I just take my bungee straps out, come on to them in a little bit. This area here is ideal for like smaller bags and stuff like that. If it's a pole venue where I need lots of pole rigs, that could be an extra rig stack or buckets, or if it's a feeder venue, it could be a big bag of feeders. You know, you get the idea. Anything like that fits in nicely in there. Now this section here, that is then where the bags go. So exactly what bags go in there obviously depends on what sort of venue I'm fishing. The large roller bag that I use as a carry-all always goes on. If I'm fishing a pole venue where I need a pole roller, that pole roller bag will go on there. If I'm carrying a platform, then just the legs of my platform I carry loose in there. They'll happily go in that spot. And then this final gap here that's sort of created at the front of the box is ideal from a call bag. Now this is where the extension comes in, where usually people have run out of room by now and their keep nets and stuff like that end up on top. For a start, if your keep net bag drips, that means all your stuff is ended up in dirty fishy water, and it also makes it more difficult to stack stuff on top. So that's why I like to have this area here for my keep net bag, where that will pretty much hold in place how it is, because I've measured the wood perfectly when I made it. Just by putting the strap around the legs like that, it holds it in place. If however I'm going a place that's bumpy and your kit's likely to fall off, then a strap round the front like that, just looped over the legs of my box to hold it in place. That can sometimes help, because if it's particularly bumpy or hilly, then the bag can slide off. Now, next thing, if I'm going somewhere where I need a platform, that can nicely go on top. So this is a matrix platform which it's designed to go apart and to go into that bag, which is probably a little bit neater and tidier, but if possible I try and leave the platform fully made up. It's just quicker, easier, no messing around on the bank. It doesn't add too much bulk just by laying it on the top. Now, final piece is rod bags, pole bags and stuff like that. I found the easiest place to put them is straight over the top like that. This should find the space to put one rod bag, one pole bag, or two rod bags, depending on the sort of venue that you're going to, straight over the top. Now, to hold these in place, what's a useful addition is I've just drilled some holes in the back of the handle to permanently attach a bungee strap, so it's permanently on there. So all I need to do is grab that bungee strap, pull it over the top, and that's holding the bags in place at the back. And finally, to hold them in place at the front, I'll just get a hook. There's a little ring built on the side of the reeve box that's designed to put a carry strap, which, let's face it, nobody ever uses because everyone uses a trolley. I'll just hook the bungee strap onto that, where it can then go straight over the top like that, and everything's held in place. I think you'll agree that is a pretty heftily loaded up trolley. Thankfully, it's not loaded quite like that everywhere I go. This is like a worst kind of case scenario, but with all that on, you can see everything is really held securely in place. One of the issues with four-wheel trolleys is when it comes to really bumpy ground and over fields. That's where, like a wheelbarrow kind of version with a large central wheel, or like a platform barrow, really does come in handy. Thankfully, I don't fish an awful lot of those sort of venues, so I'm able to use the four-wheel shuttle. And if you're going somewhere where you can get a four-wheel trolley along, then they're definitely better than the single wheel. So my advice is, unless you specifically need it because of the venues you fish, get a four-wheel trolley. It just makes everything so much easier. There's no lifting, no hauling. Everything just sits flat. You're not lifting anything. All you're doing is just pushing straight from the back, and everything just goes exactly where you want it. Quite a short and quick video here, a little bit less detailed than some of the others, but again covering some quite important points. A badly loaded trolley is just simply going to fall over, you're going to break kit. If you can't get your kit to the peg effectively, then you really are stuffed before you even get to your match. So hopefully a few of these points will really help people along.